And the distance here for our 6th event is 1,000 metres. It's the second sprint race of the day, Class 3. Got a newcomer in this race as well. 7 Heavens had a lameness issue, scratched from his last intended start. He looked close to winning prior to that. Best Sense was very much in commission when he debuted, but he bled. Unique Treasure is the newcomer. Utopia, Life, Hair Trigger and Eagle look to have their each-way chances. Chow Chow has now gone to the Tony Millard yard, multi-million in good form. So too is Goko, carrying saddlecloth at number 12. Now Chun Fa, Hair Trigger. Get the feeling he might be one Paul might sneak into his tips in this race. We'll have to wait and see. But he's been at Chun Fa. Speed should be on here, and mainly from number 9, Multi-Million, who looked really quick last time. Best Sense has looked speedy in the mornings. He looked speedy in his sole race, so I'm looking for good speed from him. Others to mention, Goko is in pretty good form. He should settle in midfield, and Hair Trigger, as we know, tends to get well behind in his races, but can finish very powerfully.
He was in Hair Trigger, and he was out, and then he was in, he was out again, so he ended up missing out, unfortunately. Utopia Life, though, he's going nicely, and he's the one that actually got it in front of him. He's going nicely, this horse. He's had the 2 starts. The blinkers went on, and it was a nice third behind Multi-Million last time, so he goes well. Eagle, now, they trialled him in blinkers, and he won the trial very impressively. Then they raced him without the blinkers. Now they're putting the blinkers on race day, so it's an interesting runner, this one. Regan Bayliss will take them out from barrier 12. Here's Chow Chow with the new stable. He's the one in front, just taking off from Sichuan Da here, getting a really decent workout as well. He hasn't really shown too much on the track, but the blinkers will go on him on his stable day. You were quite keen on one that went to Millard's yard on Wednesday that got the cash, Righteous Mate. Not as keen on this one? No, I like to see this one go, because I think he's a bit more exposed, this one. All right. 7 Heavens, we'll start with him. He is a horse that ran particularly well over this course and distance not that long ago. Scratched from his last intended start due to a lameness issue. This was one of the near misses on Douglas White's final day in the saddle in Hong Kong, and it was a really good run. Son of Frankel, quite a feisty, fiery Son of Frankel, back to 1,000 metres, didn't bother him in the slightest. He ran really well behind the progressive horse, I Am Power. My question is, Paul, can he back it up? I think he's a little of an OXO sort of profile, that horse. I think you're right. He did miss that last start, so there's obviously been a little minor setback there as well. Yeah, I thought Utopia Life ran well there, and then he's continued to improve, so he's a chance possibly of winning the race. But so too, you would think, is Multi-Million, who ran off the track 2 starts ago at 1,200, but back to the 1,000 last start. He was impressive in winning again. His jockey, Karis Teaton.
Multi-Million Karis, nice to get the win on him last time.
Yeah, actually, it's nice for him to, of course, to be back down the straight. The 1,000, I think he appreciates that. You know, he's just a speedy horse that he gets away with then 4 or 5 lengths, and of course, for them to catch him towards the last bit can be a little bit difficult. That's his style of racing, and I think last time he won a nice race.
Was he getting tired late?
Yeah, I would say, you know, of course, he do so much from the beginning, so it's difficult for him to maintain that speed the whole way, but you expect him to the last 100, the last 75 to sort of come back to me. But he does that, but what helped him is he can get away with them, and I think that's what win him the race.
Gone from 52 to 66 in the ratings. Does he have more points in hand?
Yes, of course he's now gradually going up again in the points. But like I said, he's a nice little horse. He's got the speed, and the 1,000 is there for him. So I think he's still got a win.
You mentioned that he likes the 1,000. We saw what happened with him 2 starts ago over 1,200 metres. Is he a difficult horse to ride, or does he just not like the bend?
No, to be honest, I don't think he don't like the bend. I don't think there's a problem with him around the bend. He's just, I think, we spoke to Tony, and he spoke to me after that race, and he said, with this horse, you cannot pull into him. You know, he's got so much speed, and if you pull into him, he will not be able to take the turn. He said you just have to let him run, and we trial him after that. He's gonna run the turn here with no problem. He's trial at Happy Valley, going around the turn with no problem, just letting him using his momentum. You know, like I said, he's got the speed, and if he use it, it's fine.
Congratulations on your double on Wednesday night at Happy Valley. Nice horse to be riding winners in front of your family.
Yeah, it's going well at the moment. It's nice to have the family here, and also just appreciate all the support I'm getting.
Yeah, the media and paparazzi were getting plenty of photos of them on Wednesday night as well, with Karis riding a double, as mentioned there by Edward. Happy Victory as we move forward and take a look at another runner in the race. Is a horse that's got some speed. I think he's got some ability too. Barrier 2's tricky. Tongue tie off, cheek pieces on.
John Moreira aboard as well, I think. Horse who's hard to assess, Paul, because he started off his career with a couple of really good runs and it hasn't gone forward since then.
Yeah, I wonder if this is his trip, isn't it? Back to the straight 1000. He's had a couple with Happy Valley. And look, I didn't find a spot for him from Barrier 2. I was just a little bit disappointed with this last run.
I think he's got some ability, no doubt. This horse has got ability as well. He was $5, I think, second favourite on debut. That was over 1,000. Speedy King won the race. It was back in early December. Unfortunately, he bled both nostrils, so he's been off for the required 3 months and trialled nicely leading in for his return.
With Alma Baby, who's a pretty useful horse, and he's going really well in that trial. He was very free. He looks an aggressive horse in his first run, and he bled. It's a chuck-out race. We can forgive him that. His trials have been encouraging. He looks a horse with plenty of natural speed. Yeah,
he's got the draw too, drawn Barrier 14. Blinkers will come off him. Just wonder what happens when that pressure goes on.
Yeah, he's a decent price. Zach Burton to ride as well. I get the feeling there's going to be some specking for him as we get closer to start time.
Yeah.
Is he in, Paul?
No, I didn't put him in there. No, I went with the last start winner, multi-million, because he's been running some really good times and trials, and then came out, and I thought he won that race really nicely. Goko chased him home then. I think he can chase him home again. There's only 4 pounds difference between them, so 9 to beat 12. Eagle with the blinkers on is really interesting for me. I thought he'll add some value to the exotics and Utopia Life, because he trialled really well on those blinkers. 9, 12, 6 and 5 do the QQPs, the top 3.
Same horse on top, different ones in behind. I just think Multimillion is potentially still a well-handicapped horse from a mark in the mid-60s. Loads of speed, not too worried about the low draw. Utopia Life, I think, is a horse who's just gradually getting better, run by run. Best Sense, I'm prepared to believe he is capable of running really well on the speed. And Goko is just a solid operator. And he's got to pull in the weights with Multimillion. 9, 5, 2 and 12. And Quinella, 9, 2, 5 and 12. Very simple.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting race. I think potentially Utopia Life might be a decent each-way bet, but a few winning hopes, I would have thought. That's race number 6. We will take another short break. On the other side, our feature, the Kowloon Club Cricket Centenary Cup.